Hey guys, so we talked about how we were going to do a second video on my setup, so this is it. I got this last year kind of as a present to myself after deployment. Cass let me put away a little bit of money every time I got a paycheck, and so this is what we got from it. But I basically got to go do a build-a-bow session at a pretty nice bow shop there in California. You saw us last year out there in California trying to chase mule deer through the mountains, so I built it for two things particularly. Steadiness for a long shot and speed of an arrow. So you'll see that I've got quite significantly lighter arrows than Keaton does, so I'll show you this off the bat. This is a 100 grain, this is just a field tip, but I use Rage broadheads. I think I got them in the house somewhere, but I use Rage broadheads. The insert, I don't remember the weight of it right off the bat, but it's not heavy. It is the 300 spine arrow. I have the Easton Axis carbon arrows, the 5mm, with just the stock Blazer vanes on them. I didn't change out the nocks or anything. I was going for a light arrow that would shoot pretty quick. Yeah, the whole goal was to be able to shoot at a good distance with a fast arrow. Just because whenever you're out there shooting across ridge lines, you never know if you're going to be able to close the distance properly or exactly how far you want it to be. So you want to be able to have the ability to take a longer shot. The bow itself, this is, as you can see right there, the Ventum Pro. This is from Hoyt. I got the 33. It just makes for a stable setup whenever you're making long shots. You can also see I've got a pretty long stabilizer. This is a 10-inch Torx. It's done me pretty well. The little things that look like little baby stabilizers are actually just a stand that Hoyt makes for its bows. Like Matthew has the tripod, Hoyt has this thing. One thing I don't like about it, and I wish they would fix, is it has to rest on the back cam. So that's part of the tripod. I still love it though. It is super convenient whenever you'll see us taking the shots here in a couple minutes, but whenever I just set my bow down, I can just stand it up and it's right there perfect for me. Moving up, this is the stabilizer that came with the bow. It's just this little tiny knob of a stabilizer. I just put it where I can put the second stabilizer. I have one off the front end, and then I have this one just securing my wrist lanyard. Up here, I have the Ultra Rest. It's just a drop rest. Game changer by QAD. It is a game changer. I freaking love it. It is awesome. It feels like the arrows just come out so much faster. My old bow, I had a bear, and I had the Whisker Biscuit on it. And I don't know. I love the thing. It's super quiet. It's real easy to just slide your arrow in there, lift it up, and then it doesn't have any effect on the speed of your arrow coming off. Next thing up, so I went and got the Spot Hog, and I will tell you right now, didn't love paying for the Spot Hog, but I have to say it's worth every penny. So what you can see is it's just got 2 pins in there, and then over on this side, if you look at it, it's got a dial that has the yardage. So all you do is you flip that yardage to a certain yard, and then it adjusts it. We could make a separate video if you guys want of how to set it up, but basically you shoot 20 and you shoot 60, and they have a whole bunch of measuring tapes, and based off that measuring tape, whatever one was the arrows were impacting correctly, then you just throw whatever that number correlated to and you put it on there, because you can see there's a big old 17 on the top there. So just tape number 17 was right for my arrow. Moving on, so I mean, it's a regular setup. I went and it was pretty cool to go in there and say, hey, I want to be able to shoot a long ways. I don't really care about the weight of it, and I want you guys just to set it up. I want to be whatever it feels right. So they brought out this Hoyt. It shot awesome. I had no brand loyalty. Honestly, I thought I was going to go with Matthews, just because it's kind of what runs in the family. You saw Keaton had a Matthews. My grandpa shoots a Matthews. So it's just kind of what I thought I was going to end up with. But you know what? Shot the Hoyt, loved the Hoyt, and so I think I'm going to stick with for, I mean, at least now. I mean, I spent way too much money on it for me not to get a new bow, you know. So we're going to stick with this, and I'll go over a little bit more real quick. So this is something else I got myself last year. It is just like a chest rig kind of setup from Sitka. Inside it's got a bino harness. I run these Athlon Chronos. They are freaking awesome. I love them. I used them all last year hunting big old mountains, being able to look a real long ways. They are 10 by 42s, I want to say, but they're sweet. On the side, I just run a little Gerber. It's just a pretty cheap multi-tool. It does a good job. On this side, I've got my Primos wind checker. You know, it's that was a game changer out west. And then over here, it's got a little pouch, and this is where I keep my rangefinder. This is just a Bushnell clear shot. It's a pretty old one. I've had it for I don't know how long, but basically it's just a rangefinder, but it does have a little line based off how far you're shooting of how high your arrow could impact if it does. So that's good to know if you're shooting through some dense stuff. On this side, last year it was pretty important that I had something like this with me, just because I was hunting in bare woods some of the time. And then California also has a absolute cat problem. So they got some big old cats out there. Connecting it, I just have a Safariland Molly adapter. So what's nice about this Sitka is it has Molly on both sides. And so you can just slide anything that runs Molly down the side of it. And that was pretty sweet. So I could get this. And then I just have it connected to a T-Rex arms. I believe they call it a Ragnarok. And then that just holds my Glock 19. So pretty sweet. But yeah, I put on this almost every single time I shoot, just because you want to practice how you play. And yeah, it is burning hot out here, so I'm going to stop talking. We'll shoot a couple arrows. So guys, this is kind of my home range. I put the block down there. Starting at the front of my deck up here is right at 20. Along the side of the house is 30, and then I can go all the way out to the street, and that's shooting at 50. So right now we're just going to take 1 or 2 shots from 30, and we'll call it a day, because it's getting to the point where we need to get out to the field so we can maybe try and not spook everything that lives out there. But all right, we're going to dial this into 30 real quick. Something I didn't say earlier, this is a 70-pound bow. I thought I'd maybe go heavier, but they didn't have anything heavier at the store.
What's your draw length?
My draw length is right at 29.5. I think same as Keaton's, just 29.5. But it's a pretty standard draw length, I think. But yeah. My release is the same thing. It's just a True Fire trigger finger. I'm a big fan of the index finger. You start pulling, and then you just kind of inch back with your finger as well. It helps keep my mind down to the just the pull motion, and then it pops. So cool. Let's go check out, see what we did. So you can see one's a little right, one's a little low. Not too bad. I've just recently started getting back into it. I shoot probably about 3 to 4 times a week, I would say. I'm on that Cam Haynes kind of cycle right now. I've been running in the mornings. I'll go over and lift at local gym and then bring my coffee out here and take a couple arrows in the morning. But yeah, not too bad. So next thing, we will see you guys out in the field.